Hey guys, Padu1979 here. Welcome to the head-to-head of the compound pliers, the Gearwrench versus the Dewalt compound pliers, so diagonal cutters. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick head-to-head. Hopefully, I did this video already once, and it was 15 minutes long. So a little bit of rambling in there, a little bit of repeating myself. So I thought I'd redo this video and make it a lot faster. So. I'm going to show you guys the difference first off between these two pliers. They have similar capacity, so they're increasing by adding a second pivot. So they work a little bit differently though, and they have different features. So let me zoom back out because I was zoomed in a little. Here you go. So let's open them up. So as you guys can see, I worked on the I worked a lot and put a lot of M Pro 7 and just played with the diagonal cutters to make them that smooth. So I want to show you guys the first difference between these two is the way that the heads are going to open. So this is the maximum opening for the Dewalt, and you guys can see for the Gearwrench, so opens a whole lot wider for the Gearwrench than the Dewalt. So let's see like that. So you guys can see it just opens up a little bit better, a little bit wider for the Gearwrench. One thing that's going to do though is take away a little bit of the strength. I think that the wall have a little bit more strength. Depending, it's not that much more, but it's just a little bit more easier to cut with the Dewalt. So you guys can see here, there's no gap for light on the Dewalt, so very cool, very good for that. There's a little bit of gap on the bottom for the Gearwrench, and in some cases, depending on how you look at them, you can see some light going through the pliers. So this is a little bit of a gap, and the teeth matches are, a little bit, I would say, offset. So just a tiny bit. So, all right, let's get into it, guys. I'm just gonna start doing a testing, show you guys what I think and how they perform. So first test is gonna be with, let's see, go with the smallest thing I have, which is the cutter pin. So show you guys what type of cutter pins I'm gonna use. I'm gonna show you guys the package here. So 1/8 by 1/2, so cutter pin. So I'm gonna use that. So for automotive mechanics and stuff. So you guys might need something a little bit easier to cut those. So let's go. I don't know where you guys cut these in the mechanics world, but let's try to cut it more towards the end here. I'm not going too much further for the gap, so let's cut it there. So let's see. So pretty easy. So if I go, I'm just gonna show you guys another way where I'm gonna put this and just go towards the tip, because sometimes you need to cut towards the tip. So let's see if I cut towards the tip here. If I try to, at least. Whoa, a lot of effort to get that to cut. So, but the furthest you go from the fulcrum, the point right there, the more you're gonna have to put some effort into it, but it cuts it. So now let's see with the Dewalts. The Dewalt, the furthest back I can go is pretty much all the way back. So right here, a little bit of a gap there, but it's not a gap for the pliers. It's just a gap for the because it can't go any further. So let's go and squeeze it down. This is like butter. So the Dewalt is definitely a little bit easier to cut than the Gearwrench. So let's go towards the tip. Not too much, but just enough towards the tip. So a little bit less effort on the Dewalt, just a little bit. So easier to cut. So second test I'm going to show you guys is this. It's a windshield wiper insert. So from a 2007 Mazda 3. If you guys got this type of car and you're using some windshield wipers to get some tension wrench for your lockpicking, you'll know what these are. Very heavy gauge wires. So I mean windshield wiper inserts. So very heavy gauge. So let's try with the Gearwrench first. Let's see how the Gearwrench perform here. So a little bit towards the end there. Click. Actually, I could just go a little further back here. So click just like that. It's gonna be perfect. Get in frame. That would be helpful. So like that. So pretty easy. Stuff is flying all over. Get back in there. So pretty easy with the Gearwrench pliers. Let's see with the Dewalt now. If I go all the way back, click right there, guys. So let's see. So I would say with the windshield wiper insert, it's about the same. Let me get another cut here. So about the same with the windshield wiper insert. No, I think the teeth might be getting worn out a little bit. So alright, the third test is gonna be a coated steel wire. So focus. So you can see the gauge here. Not the biggest, but you know, it'll do the job. So let's start with the Gearwrench and see how it cuts it, right? Towards the end. Show you guys right there. So let's see. Steel wire. So pretty easily, let's cut it again. Let's give it a little bit more to work with. Right here. This is, well, actually the furthest back I can go is all the way back there, but after that it's just taking pliers one-handed. So pretty easy on that. Let's see with the Dewalt. The Dewalt, the maximum I can go back towards the pivot point is right here, halfway almost. So let's see with the Dewalt how they perform. A little bit easier with the Dewalt, I gotta say. For this type of material, a little bit easier with the Dewalt. The Dewalt have a little bit more strength to them. I don't know if it's 70%. I would say maybe 60 or 50%, because if you guys compare it to the Gearwrench pliers, the pivot point is not as furthest back. If they move the pivot point just a little bit closer to the actual cutting edge, they would have a little bit more strength in there. So as you can see, the Gearwrench versus the Gearwrench, the pivot point is really close to the cutting edge. So versus the Dewalt, a little bit of distance there. Show you guys side to side there. So a little bit more distance on the Dewalt. But the Dewalt have a different action. The teeth opens up, so the ratio is a little bit more. So let's take that off here and just put that side by side. So for right there. So as far as they're concerned, the Gearwrench are pretty good pliers. I mean, they work great. The teeth, the opening on the teeth is a little bit more than the Dewalt for the Gearwrench, so a little bit better for that. I don't know, you guys decide which one you want. For steel wire, like I said, the Dewalts are a little bit easier. You know, they both comes with a lifetime warranty. These sells for about anywhere from $15 to $20, depending on where you get them. If you get the set with the long nose pliers and the you know, the linesman, the diagonal cutters, it's about $40, so pretty good deal. And if you buy the sets for the long nose and the diagonal cutters for the Gearwrench, it's about $30, so 30 something dollars. So just telling you guys, the long nose pliers cuts that's kind of weird, but they cut a little bit better than the diagonal cutters. I don't know why, but it just cut a little bit better than the diagonal cutters for the needle nose pliers. Maybe because they're a little bit smoother, the teeth might match up a little bit more. I don't know, but they just cut a little bit better with the long nose plier, which is going to be a gift to my dad. So you know, a little early present for Christmas. So hope he's going to enjoy that, hopefully. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little head-to-head demonstration between those two compound pliers. I still have one set to buy, but you guys are gonna have to motivate me, because this single plier diagonal cutters is about $35, $36. So, which is the Irwin power slot. So I really wanted to try those out. but you guys gonna have to motivate me, watch that video, share it, and all that good stuff. So if you guys like this video, as always, give it a thumbs up. Look forward to seeing more videos like this in the future, comparison, reviews, and stuff like that, whether it's tools, flashlight, or anything else. So if you guys want to see other tests with these pliers, if you guys get some stuff you cut all day long, you want to see it cut, just send me a message, and I'll try to get the material, and I'll try to do a small video showing you guys a little test on that material. So hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys on the next one.